Hey everybody, welcome back. What am I sitting in? A vehicle that has its whole dash taken apart. I'll just show you real quickly. Sorry for the poor lighting here. That's all I got. This is a 2005 GMC Jimmy, and let me tell you about the problem that it's having. If I put my light down here. We have a parasitic draw on this unit, and we've had it for a couple of days, and we've been trying to figure out what's been going on. We did replace the battery because the battery was showing weak, so we changed that out overnight. The battery died again, so we've got a very strong draw. About 8 months ago, we replaced the alternator on it, did the usual tests, gone through parasitic draws to see where we are, check our grounds, check our fuses, make sure everything is good, everything was fine. Now, what we had noticed on this vehicle, this one is not mine by the way, is that the park light, shift indicator, the park light is staying on very dimly. You can actually make it out only at night when it was parked in the garage here, or if it was dark outside, on the instrument cluster. So we traced it all back to that instrument cluster right there. That's the one that we're going to be putting back into this vehicle here very shortly. Getting the vehicle apart is really quite simple. In order to get to the cluster, it's just a whole bunch of little screws like this. That's it. Now, one thing that we did notice is that we had to get this cluster repaired. That is a known General Motors, GM, Chevy problem on Blazers, Trailblazers, Yukons, Denellis, Silverados, Tahoes, Suburbans, anything that has this type of instrument cluster, printed circuit board cluster. That one right there. Hopefully my light's not too bad, you can make it out. And then what I'll do is I'll take it out and I'll show you on the bench what was going on with it here. Now, why did the cluster fail, and why did the park light stay on dimly lit? I'll show you on the back of the cluster. One other thing that was noted is that the security light was actually staying on at just random times of the day. After you shut the vehicle off, normally it'll flash a couple of moments, you get out of the vehicle's armed and all that, and here's the problem. That light was also coming on. So now we've got a couple of different things going on here. Park lights on, security lights coming on. When driving the vehicle, the gauges are going all over the place. Everything's dropping off, everything's coming back on. We're losing half the gauges. We're getting tons of warning lights coming on, everything while driving. Go and lean on the dash and move the dash around, and all of a sudden the lights kind of would flicker. You kind of press on the gauge cluster and the lights would come in and out. Really interesting. So we're going to show you what we found on the cluster here. We're going to go onto the bench real quick. Actually, we can get right on the hood. We're not too concerned about the paint. It's an old Blazer. Where the main pin connector goes in, right there. This is a known problem right in here. This whole section of solders. There was 8 broken pins on this unit, on this cluster. So we've had to get it re-soldered, rechecked, everything's fine. But the gentleman who had repaired this and has done a lot of repairs on these in the past said, wow, I've never seen like 8 broken pins. You better go check your wiring harness. So I'm going to show you that too. Oh, Mustang. I'll show you this wiring harness and what the problem is as well. So you need to check yours. Whoa, there's a bright light in your face. There's the wiring harness. And what's going on here, if I can get my camera around here, is that there's not enough give out of this harness. So you can see the way the wires are bent over. It's putting extra pressure, pulling on the instrument cluster. That's a bright light, right in my eyeballs. So you need to go underneath the dash, follow the wiring harness up underneath, and I've accessed it down underneath there already, and you can actually kind of see it through there too. So what am I going to do is I'm going to go and fish out again, sorry for the lighting. I'm gonna go and stay up there late. I'm gonna go and fish out some of this wiring harness from underneath the dash, from down on the passenger side, if you will, and give us some more room. Obviously, when it was installed in the factory, it's really tight, and it's actually pulling to the right on that cluster, causing those pins to break over time anyway. So there you go. If you've got a parasitic draw and you've got cluster problems, this needs to be repaired. Getting this thing apart and putting it back together is simple. Like I said, it's just a bunch of little screws and bolts, and you pop everything off. If you look at my past couple of videos, I did a bunch of dash lights, actually replaced the bulbs in this as well. So, but there you go. If you have any questions or comments on your parasitic draw, leave them. And again, this is an 05 Blazer with the classic cluster problem. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll talk to you later. Okay, so this is a continuation of we're gonna kind of blotch this video, piece it all together. We're trying to get some more length out of the instrument cluster cable right here, that one right there. And once you get your whole dash here apart, and again, it's really easy to get apart, just a bunch of little screws down there and some extra clips, but real easy stuff. But if you take a look up inside, you see that where I'm pointing at right there? Let's see what I can get in there without blocking too much light. Pretty sure the GoPro's picking up, but that right there, that is one of the clips that you need to undo so you can get more length out of your instrument cluster main wiring harness. You want to do that, so in order to solve the problem of a parasitic draw. So here we go. We're going to pop that off real quickly, and then we are going to get the cluster in, get this thing all back together, start the vehicle up. Vehicle starts and runs right now with all this apart anyway, so that's a good thing. Okay, let's get going. Okay, there is a clip that is holding this wiring harness together, and you can access. Now look at all the extra room, all the extra cable that we have right here, and it's literally right there. Use a screwdriver and you can just pop it off. I mean, it's that easy. Now the only gauge that I see that's showing weird is the oil pressure, and I've tried popping it back. Temperature's at 125, no, sorry, 115 degrees, but it'll pop itself back in. It'll go to zero. What I'm trying to say here. So take this, carefully plug that back on. Oh, did you see the gauge lights up? Oil pressure didn't go back yet, but all the other gauges seem to jump. Oops. It's been a few days since I've had this thing apart, so slowly pop it back in here. And you can see the harness again. You got to make sure that harness, you can get your hand in back this way. At least I can. I'm just going to pop that harness up, the wire harness up, and get the gauge into place. Right there. I'm just going to take a look at that wire. The wire harness. Yeah, I see it. It is. I'm just going to grab the camera and show you. I'm going to move it a bit, but you can see the way it's kind of caught up right underneath. If I can put my light down for a second. Right there. Right there. So I'm just going to see if I can wiggle that around. So excuse me for a moment here. Yeah, there we go. There. That's, now take a look. It's free to move. See? Hopefully you guys can see that. It's got moving now, whereas before it was really pulling to the right side here. But look at that, it's got movement now. That should be good. It won't put any tension on the main wiring harness or the pin connectors there, which is a good thing. Got my LED light. And I forgot my other main light at home, but this one will work just fine because it gets me to where I need to go. And what size do you need? You need this size. That's it right there. What is it? I can't remember. 7 mil. 7 mil for every single one. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll hold the cluster in place. And then there's a whole bunch down below here. There's like 15, not even 15 of them. I don't believe so. But anyway, let's get putting some screws in. No wasting time. I didn't bring my cordless tools or nothing. I'm just gonna do this all by hand. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh, look at that. Oil gauge has come down already. Perfect. That's what I want to see. That is what I want to see. Whereas before it was pegged past 550. 7 millimeter. 7 mil. That's what you need. 1/4 inch drive. And there are kids playing basketball outside. You can probably hear them. Go check out my other videos, see other repairs that I've done on this vehicle and other vehicles, and kind of see where I'm at, kind of see what I do. This vehicle's got about 175,000 kilometers on it. Wiring harness is good. 1, 2, 3, 4 in. Now, let's get. Now these light switches, or sorry, these wiring harnesses. This is the 4-wheel drive, 2 high and 4-wheel low, and then what's this other one? I don't know, can't remember. And then light switches on this side. Now this is a little bit. No, let's just try this. Look at that. That's what you're supposed to see. I'm going to start it. 174,000. My goodness, that is 2 thumbs up, people. That is 100%. Security light will flash for a little bit and then it will go out. That's just the radio one. And there's no light on in the park. This one's also got a remote starter in it too. That'll flash for a little bit. That's normal. That is excellent. Now, what I'm gonna have to do is, in order to put the cluster, or sorry, in order to put the dash piece back in, you got to get the shifter down into low. So we're gonna stop the camera for a moment. In order to get the whole dash package back in, block your wheels. My wheels are blocked right now. You don't have to start the vehicle, so I'm not going to roll away. And got this big section here. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Oh, okay. Rear hatch, high-low for the rear wiper. That's for the wire connectors. This is your one right here. I'm just going to take a quick look and see here, make sure that I'm all good. I'm going to have to move my camera. Yes, I am. Hopefully you guys can see something there. And the extra wire that's here, that's for this little LED security light that he's got in here as well. click. You hear that? That's what you want to hear. That was the rear hatch, rear wiper. Yep, rear wiper. This is the four-wheel drive one, which only goes in a specific way. Oh, there goes the rear wiper, turning it on. Clink, clunk. Click. There's that. Now, just before we put this in, right there, there are clips there, pressure clips. So when we're removing the dash, all you do is you grab behind it. Once you remove the few screws that there are, and you pull forward, pressure clips. 1, 2. I know this one's a little tougher to see. I'll take that there, right there. And there's another one right there. I know I got my light hung up here, so. And then you have your wiring for your headlights. So let's get that put in quickly. Like I'm telling you, if you're not doing this with a camera, this whole thing to put it back together is 20 minutes, if that. Oops, breaking things. Oh, 4 ways. Okay, we're slowly getting this thing back together. Slowly, slowly. Pressure clips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. I'm going to try to start it just because the security system's on. Doo-doo. We're going to leave it for the moment because it's got the remote starter in it. There we go. Pressure clips are in up here. Sorry again for the poor lighting, but that's okay. Pressure clips, there we go, all the way across. We are good. Now I'm just going to put the kick panel back together. So you got a screw here for your dash. Oops, my light. And then you've got one right there as well. Hopefully you can see that. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to pop this knee protector kick panel back in, and then put the remote starter panel and everything back on, and we are done. Okay, there. Questions, comments, leave them. This is pretty simple to take apart, put back together if you've got that problem. So comment, leave comments, all that fun stuff, subscribe, and everything. Anyway, there we go. Thanks for watching, and I'll have this thing going in about 10 minutes. Okay, cheers, that's it. If you got a parasitic load, this could be your serious problem if you got those warning dash lights coming on all the time. So cheers.